Yeah, we can survive, bros. Because why I say we can survive is that even the money they are borrowing, we don't see the impact on Nigerians. So in other words, even if they do not borrow that money, we can still live. We have what it takes. Apart from oil, let's keep aside oil. Look at other places like Zamfara, Nasarawa, Kogi, that the resources they have, that especially in Nasarawa, that Nigeria cannot finish the natural resources in Nasarawa. So let's keep aside the oil. I'm not talking about oil now. Look at Zamfara. Look at the gold they are mining there. Look at just mention any state in Nigeria, you see that they have one thing or the other to survive. So we can actually survive.
A country can survive without borrowing if we go back to farm. You understand? Go back to our local industries like Nigerian newspapers, textile in Kaduna and Kano. If we go back to that place, we can get our resources or we can get our incomes there without going outside to borrow money. Yeah.
Yeah, a country can survive without borrowing, but it's going to lead it to a very slow shift. If a country wants to move faster, it has to borrow to meet up to its excesses.
A country, when it's a country like Nigeria, natural resources with gold, fuel, oil, everything any country can get. Tourism, some countries live on tourism alone. Some countries live on probably refined products. Nigeria has every single resource on planet Earth. Some in larger quantities, some in smaller quantities. I dare say Nigeria has no reason whatsoever to borrow money from anybody. Any leader that is coming, we cannot be living with borrowing. Because when you are a leader, you borrow today. Another leader is coming. He's not coming to build Nigeria. He's coming to pay the debt. So when you are paying the debt, you cannot even have chance to develop the country. So we shouldn't live on borrowing. We should make our country better so that we can benefit from the wealth. There is wealth in Nigeria, so we can work with our own wealth instead of borrowing.
Even you as a trader, as a businessman, if you borrow your money to invest in your business, it will grow. And when it grows from that business, you invest the money so you can pay back the loan. But what will happen in Nigeria, it's a normal routine. They borrow to feed themselves, they borrow to live luxury life, they borrow to live expensive life. Because if you cut the waste in government alone, you can save money. Where you have one person coming to take Panadol in Abuja, he carries convoys with taxpayers' money. He doesn't buy food for his family. He doesn't pay NEPA bills. It's taxpayers' money he pays. So you see, not to deviate from your question, borrowing is important. Borrowing is something that you can't do without. But what do you borrow the money for?
If you want a development in your country, you must borrow. But when you borrow, you know what to do with it. You make a way of generating more income to pay back.
My advice to government is to stop borrowing. That is number one. Let them stop borrowing. Then look inward. Develop what you have. Look at the number of Nigeria, the population we have in Nigeria, human capital. Develop the natural resources that we have. Let's live within our means. You can just imagine. I was listening to Radio Nigeria this morning. They were talking about somebody go to Metama, somebody own like more than 2,000 houses there. Nobody is staying there. Now, if those things are not stolen money, will you build a house and leave it about? The man was saying that more than 10 years, those houses has been there. Now, what am I trying to say is that if we look inward, don't embezzle, don't steal, don't take more than you can, don't take more than what you need.
Most of our leaders too, if they have that kind of mind, these advanced countries, the leaders of advanced countries have selfless leaders. They work without taking themselves into consideration. They work for the masses. If we work for the masses, they will see it in they will see it will translate in the lives of the masses.
Because of bad governance, trailing it from 1960 years, the government find themselves in this situation and they went a borrowing for the past 5 years. And our government, their government, not my government, have never for once showed us what they have done with the money. Accountability is not there. So I feel it's not good to borrow. Even when they borrowed, no accountability, there is no accountability on how the money is spent. And they are still trying to borrow. It's a no-no for me. It's not right. It shouldn't happen.
My advice to government is to rehabilitate the indigenous industry that we have. In Kano, Kaduna, Sokoto cement, BCC, Boko cement, Cabin Biscuit, all these things. If government can do something about that industries, I think there's no need Nigerian to go outside and start borrowing money.
What we have can go around and everybody will live without borrowing a dime. In fact, as a matter of fact, Nigeria will begin to lend money to other countries, just like what China is doing now. Nigeria can do better than China. What is China? We have all it takes to even be greater than China. So if we can look inward, my advice to our leaders, let them look inward. Let us develop the natural resources we have, and let us stop stealing Nigeria resources.
We remember sometimes ago in NDDC when they are doing the probe, while the probe was going on, billions of naira were being spent. Imagine the laughable statement that they spend money in people going for course, or people going for course how to give palliative. So it's unfortunate. This government came with the mantra of fighting corruption. But bros, I say this with all sense of humor. This government is more corrupt than any other government of the day, because where you sit down and corruption is thriving in your face, in your presence, you are corrupt.
It is here that everybody was shouting 2015 that we are tired with PDP government, we are doing this, that, this. Yes, Buhari came. You can't just do it overnight. But the problem is, when I come, I will stop everything. You can't just do it. The population in 1983, when he was in power, is not the same population now.
Let me shock you. How can a country, in all the 6 or more oil-producing countries in the world, Nigeria is the only country that exports crude oil and imports fuel? How can that be? Why can't we have one functional refinery? These are the parameters that push the ideology of borrowing. And it's so sad. We don't have any reason why we should borrow money from any country in the world.